It was the week before Christmas in the quiet village of Eldenbrook. Snow had fallen softly overnight, covering the rooftops, the fences, and the window hats in a blanket of white. Smoke curled from the chimneys, and the scent of pine and cinnamon drifted through the cold air. Inside their little cottage, near the edge of the woods, 10-year-old Leo sat on the rug by the fireplace, watching the flames dance. He wasn't thinking about toys or candy or the present the other kids were hoping for. He was thinking about his mom. You see, she worked at the wool mill days a week, sometimes even on Sundays, when extra help was needed. Her hands were red and cracked from washing wool in icy water, and her shoulders sagged when she came home after dark. But she always made time for Leo, helping him with his letters, telling him stories from when she was a girl, or humming old songs while she mended his socks. Still, Leo noticed the tired lines around her eyes. And this year, for the first time, she hadn't put up their little Christmas tree until he asked her to. She smiled when she did it, but it was a quiet kind of smile, like her heart was somewhere far, far away. Leo wanted to help. He wanted to give her something that would make her eyes light up again. But he had no money. All he had was a few copper pennies saved from helping old Mr. Hargrove feed his chickens, and even that wouldn't buy much. One evening, as they ate their simple supper of soup and bread, his mom said,
"Don't worry about gifts this year, Leo. Just having you safe and warm is all I need."
But Leo couldn't stop thinking about it. That night, before bed, he opened the worn Bible his grandma had given him years ago. He flipped past the pages until he found a verse his grandma used to read often. Leo read it slowly. He didn't understand all the big words, but he got the main idea. It wasn't about how much love you give. It was about giving with love. And that gave him hope. The next morning, just as the sun peeked over the hills, Leo wrapped his scarf around his neck, slipped on his boots, and set off towards the woods. He was off to see Mrs. Calloway. Most children in the village were a little afraid of her. She lived alone in the crooked little house deep in the forest, with moss and the roof and ivy curling up the walls. Some said she could talk to birds. Others said she knew secrets about stars and dreams. But Leo remembered how, when he was little and lost in the woods, she'd found him, given him warm cider, and walked him home without a word of scolding. He knocked on her door.
"Come in, Leo,"
she called as if she'd been expecting him. Inside the cottage smelled like dried herbs and old books. A black cat blinked from a windowsill, and a kettle hummed on the stove.
"I want to give my mom the best gift ever, but I don't have anything to give."
Mrs. Calloway stirred her tea and smiled.
"Huh? But you have more than you think."
She handed him a small wooden box, plain, with no paint or carvings, just smooth wood, worn soft with time.
"This box can hold what money can't buy. Fill it with what you believe is truly priceless. Bring it back before the moon rises."
Leo took the box carefully and nodded. He walked through the forest all morning. He found a perfect white feather from a swan. He picked a smooth river stone that fit in his palm. He even gathered a handful of frozen berries, red as rubies. But none of them felt right. They were beautiful, yes, but not priceless. As the sun began to sink and he sat on their favorite rock, the one where he and his mom used to watch fireflies in the summer, his breath rose in little clouds as he remembered the way she'd stay up at night when he had a fever, pressing cool cloths to his forehead. How she saved the crust of her own bread to give him the soft middle. The time she walked 3 miles in the rain to bring him his forgotten schoolbook. She never said,
Look what I did for you.
she just loved him, quietly, completely, every single day. Leo's eyes filled with tears, not sad ones, but full ones. And in that moment, he knew exactly what to put in the box.
He ran all the way home. In the kitchen, he filled their tin mug with water and set it on the stove. When it steamed, he stirred in their last spoonful of honey, golden and sweet, and added a sprig of rosemary from the little pot on the windowsill, the one his mom talked to like he was a friend. Then he held the mug close and whispered into the warm air,
I love you, Mom.
not just with his voice but with his whole heart. He poured the honeyed rosemary water into the wooden box. It soaked right into the wood, gone in a moment, but the box felt warm and heavier somehow. That night, Leo knocked on Mrs. Calloway's door again. She opened the box, closed her eyes and smiled.
You filled it with love. That's the one thing that the world can't buy, can't steal, and never runs out.
On Christmas morning, snow fell again, gentle and silent. Leo placed the box under the little tree and woke his mom with a cup of tea.
Merry Christmas, Mom.
She opened it. Nothing was inside, but she paused, breathing in slowly. Then her eyes shimmered and she pulled him into a hug so tight he could feel her heartbeat.
Oh, Leo, I can feel it. Your kindness, your love, it's all here.
And for the first time in a long while, her smile reached her eyes. Years later, long after Leo had grown and moved away, his mom kept that old wooden box on her windowsill. She never told anyone what was inside, but sometimes, on quiet winter mornings, she would open it, close her eyes, and smile. Because the greatest gift was never wrapped in paper or tied with ribbon. It was given with joy. It was given with love. And that, more than gold, more than jewels, is truly priceless.